Is that really your...
Perhaps he will become a mod.
In Carnaby Street, you can't tell the assistants from the customers.
The rockers are another teenage category.
A mass production.
Music is magic.
Blitz is about people who want to be different and want to be surrounded by other people who are also different.
1984, Great Britain.
There will be setbacks.
Makeup has come a long way since the golden era of Hollywood, with each year becoming brighter and more creative. It was hard for me to choose just one iconic look, so I decided to create a timeline of my favourite icons and inspirations. In this two-part tutorial, I'll be showing you how to go from glam to Gaga, but don't worry, I'll be releasing tutorials for every look in this video. So let's jump right into part 1, which is this glam Marilyn Monroe inspired look. Hi guys! So as you can see, I'm fresh faced with my wig cap on. First off, we're going to prime our face using the priming water. On top of that, I'm using the oil control base. I'm using the Pro Conceal and Correct palette to get rid of any blemishes and get rid of the dark circles underneath my eyes. I'm then blending that out with a sponge. For foundation, I'm mixing together the Pro Matte Foundation in 02 and 04. And again, I'm just blending that out with a sponge. To prime my eyes, I'm using the Pro Eye Primer. I'm applying the product with the wand and then blending it out with my finger. To create the shape of the brows, I'm using the Pro Brow Pomade in Blonde. If you look at photos of Marilyn Monroe, her eyebrows were quite angular and had a high arch, so that's the kind of shape that I'm aiming for. Using the Pro HD Brow Palette, I'm darkening the colour of the brows and I'm also creating a few realistic looking hairs at the front of the brows. To carve out the shape of the brows, I'm going back in with that Conceal and Correct palette. From the pink Pro Artist pad, I'm using a light cream shade all over the lid. To highlight underneath the brow bone, I'm using the white from the Fairy Dolls palette. Using the matte shades from the Audacious 3 palette, I'm beginning to carve out a cut crease shape above my natural crease. Using a really thin brush and a medium brown shade from the Glam Fairies palette, I'm then cutting that crease even further to make my eye sockets look really deep like Marilyn's. To deepen up the crease, I'm using dark brown matte shades from the Pro Artist palette in black. Because I obsess about everything being really neat, I'm using some concealer on a flat brush just to cut the crease a little bit and make it look even neater and even rounder. Using shadows from the Pro Artist pad in black, I'm blending out the crease and I'm also adding a Y onto my eyelid as well. I'm curling my natural eyelashes and applying the long length mascara, ready to apply some falsies. Now my false lashes are on, I can get on with that signature Marilyn Monroe eyeliner. So you want to make sure you've got a nice thick flick and it's that typical 1950s liner shape. Once I'm happy with my eyeliner, I'm applying the Pro Volume Mascara to my false lashes. Using the same foundations as earlier, I'm then just perfecting my base because my hands would have been touching my face as I've been doing my eye makeup. To set my base, I'm using the highlight colour from the Pro Contour palette in Medium 01. To contour my face, I'm using the lightest shade from the Pro Strobe palette. I'm then using the matte and shimmer bronzers from the Pro Bronze and Bake palette. I'm then buffing that out with both blushes from the same palette. To highlight, I'm using the highlighter from the Pro Strobe palette. For the lips, I'm starting off by using the Pure Vamp lipstick on a lip brush, and I'm lining my lips to get that perfect shape. Using the same lipstick, I'm then filling in my lips. No Marilyn Monroe look would be complete without that signature mole, so I'm creating this with the Pro Liquid Liner. So that's it for this part of the tutorial. Once you've got your wig on, you're pretty much Marilyn. So now we're done with Marilyn, we're going to jump straight in to Lady Gaga. Now I know that sounds like one extreme to the other, but if you actually look at the makeups next to each other, you'll notice that Gaga's makeup is very similar, it's just darker and more dramatic. So the first thing that we're going to change is the brows. We're going to make them darker and thicker using the Pro Brow palette. The arch of the eyebrow goes up higher than the rest of the brow, and then bring it down into like a flicked tail at the end. To make the lines neater, I'm using concealer on a flat brush. Using the same concealer, I'm expanding the size of the crease towards the inner corner because Gaga's eyes look a lot more open and wide, and I would even say the cut crease is kind of verging on drag. Next, I'm adding dark brown shadows to the crease from the black Pro Artist pad. I'm then blending out a lot of that dark shadow above the crease, just under my brow, close to the inner corner of my eye. Oh my god, I literally feel like I was just giving out directions there. I hope you made it to your destination. I'm still using that same eyeshadow, but I'm darkening up the outer corners of the eyes. To add even more depth, I'm using grey and black from the Glam Fairy palette. Using light brown and light grey, I'm then blending all of those colours over the crease together. To make sure that the lids are still looking bright, I'm adding a white eyeshadow. To make the highlight underneath the brow bone stand out even more, I'm adding the shimmery highlight colour from the Glam Fairies palette. I'm patting a little bit of that on the eyelids as well. I'm going over the liner again just to make it stand out and look as black as possible, and making the flick at the corner of my eye super long. I'm connecting the flick and lining my lower lash line with black eyeshadow, and then I'm buffing that out with a fluffy brush. Using cleanser on a cotton swab, I'm removing the fake mole that we drew earlier, and then I'm just covering it over with a little bit of concealer. Because Gaga's eye makeup is so heavy, I thought it would only be right to put on some more mascara. Because it is a strong look, I thought it'd be rude not to add more highlighter. And while we're at it, a little bit more contour as well. And I'm using the Pro Strobe palette. For the lips, I'm going back in with that Pure Vamp lipstick. To create the ombre effect, I'm using black eyeshadow on a lip brush. I'm adding the black shadow to the corners of my mouth and then blending it out the closer to the middle of my mouth that I get. To blend the black and red together, I'm using the Pro Mel in TGIF. In the centre of my lips, I'm using the Pro Mel in Jammy Dodger. Using liquid eyeliner, I'm drawing on Gaga's Beauty Mark. Hi guys! I just wanted to say a massive thank you for voting in the last round and getting me through to this round. So the theme for this video is Hollywood glamour versus modern icons. So I chose to do a kind of timeline of looks from the Hollywood glam days all the way until now, and I've just chose a couple of what I personally think are the most iconic looks from different decades. I think that normally when you think of like iconic makeup looks, you just assume that those iconic looks are female, and I would like strongly disagree, because I think some of the most iconic looks, like two of which I've included in this video, are from males, not necessarily females. So I wanted to show that in my video as well, that makeup throughout the ages and throughout the decades hasn't just been iconic for women, but it has for men as well. So that's kind of why I did the whole timeline video, and as you can imagine, this took so long and a lot of effort. This round right now is the top 20 in the I Am Freedom Makeup Awards. To get to the next round, which is top 10, I need to ask for all of your votes again. I can't thank you enough for getting me this far, but if you could please vote for me again and try and get me into the top 10, and then after that it would be the final. So let's try and do it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!